Hi guys, Mark Foreman here, coming to you from my Orange, Texas backyard. I'm currently sitting in my garage slash wood shop slash astronomy office. I'm sitting at my astronomy desk right now. Tonight we're going to image some nebula. I haven't really chosen a target yet, but stay tuned later in the video. Once I finally pick it, I'll let you know. What I wanted to show you in this video is how to set up, or how I set up my gear for a night of astrophotography. This will be a setup from the ground up. We've had some rain recently, so I took everything down and pulled it inside. I typically try to keep it put together with a canopy on it, but the rain was pretty bad the last 3 or 4 days. So, oh, yeah, this is my first video, so don't laugh. I'm working on an iPad with no mount. It's just sitting here, so no telling how rocky this is going to get through the rest of the video. But anyway, as I was saying, let's go ahead and head outside, get started, and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, so this is my Orange, Texas backyard. Excuse the mess. I've been doing some remodeling, and some of our yard work has slipped. So fine. But anyway, this is where I'm going to set up. It's right outside my shop. It's beautiful, beautiful blue sky right now. And it's supposed to be clear all night long. So I'll probably start shooting something in that direction. That's pretty much southeast. There's directly south. And then, of course, my trees to the west kills any chance of getting anything that's just about to set, which includes Venus. So anyway, the three blocks here in a triangle, that is where I'm going to put the mount. And the first step is to bring out the tripod. So let's do that. And yes, by the way, that thing's pretty heavy, but that's not going to be the heaviest things that I'm going to be carrying out here. More on that in a bit. So with the tripod, what I need to do, again, excuse my cinematography efforts here, is this peg and the mount screw need to be perfectly aligned north, or as close to north as I can get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my camera. Could have been ready for that, right? Get it kind of calibrated. I'll set it right there. All right, I don't know if you can see that, but I am almost perfect. In fact, that's close enough for me to go ahead and go. The head that I'm about to bring out, it has adjustment knobs, so I can fine tune once I start polar aligning. So let's go ahead and go get the head. Okay, now that I've got the head mounted on the tripod, I'm going to go ahead and talk about it real quick, because this is the powerhouse that enables me to stay locked onto a target, capturing long exposures all night long. It's known as an EQ8 mount. I believe it has a capacity of about 110 pounds. It weighs about 50 pounds all by itself, though, let me tell you that. The heart of it is these two discs right here, and another one right here. This is what's called the right ascension, and this is the declination. It's all computer controlled. The right ascension will allow the mount to track east to west, locked onto a target, and the declination is where I can fine tune to get to a target that's not necessarily right on the celestial plane. So, all right, again, ignore the wires. We're going to get to all that here in a bit. So the next thing is I have to bring out the counterweights. So let's get those out here. This is pretty heavy too. This is about 35 pounds. But what this does is it allows the telescope to be balanced on the mount by these counterweights, which counterbalance it. This way, the motors in the head don't have to work as hard. Counterweight shaft is in. And I'm only going to need one 35-pound counterweight tonight because I'm going to be using my Esprit 120, which is not that heavy for this mount. That tightened. Okay, there we go. So the next step is to cut. Okay, so funny story. I showed you that we were going to align system north-south to be aimed at Earth, which there. The step after that is to level the mount. I did not do that. So take a quick break, and we'll tear a little bit down, and I'll show you about how we're going to get the mount level. Because if it's not level, it can't track right ascension properly. So it's a little harder walking in on targets. So let's tear it down. And I've probably put this system together in the 3 years that I've been doing this, 600-700 times. But the one time you want to video it, you forget a key step. Maybe one day I'll tell you the story about how I couldn't get anything to work until I realized that I had the lens cap still. So you get a quick view of how to disassemble. It's a bonus. All right, we'll just set that right here. All right, these are levelers. This is what goes under each leg and allows me to adjust to get it just as level as I possibly can. All right, so let's see where we are right off the bat. Going to use a little bubble measure. Set it right there. Let me get the camera and I'll show you what we got. So as you can see, the object of the game is to put that bubble right in those crosshairs. So we're a little high on this side right here, which means I need to take this down just a bit close. Screw that a little bit. There we go. I pretty much nailed it. I could do a little bit more fine tuning, but since I'm trying to make a video here and I need to get it done before it's too dark, I will go ahead and we'll just go with that. It's pretty close. So let me put everything back together. And we're done. Okay, the next step is bring the telescope out. So we're putting it up here in this what's called the dovetail, tightening it down, and then after that we're going to start doing some balancing. So stay tuned. Worst fear was dropping this bad boy. And I've cheated. I've got a little mark here. is. Alright. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. I did not put the counterweights back in. Major scope. It's been a heavy telescope. We could have been noted as that. But seriously, I've done this lots of times. Okay, disaster averted. Wow. Let's cap off. And shield up. Okay, let's get the cabling all set up because that does add a little bit to the weight and the balance. So, as I'm putting all these cables on, I'll tell you about all the different parts here. First of all, this little red can here at the back, that is the camera. This is a ASI 6200 mm Pro. It's a black and white. It's a monochrome camera. Captures much more detail in monochrome. You just have to use filters to get a color image in the end. So, put the USB up. Get power. Next up is the filter booth. This is where I have my broadband and my narrowband filters. I'll go into much more detail on those, maybe in a later video, but that again is what allows me to get color. So it just has the USB cable. Then comes the off-axis guider. This helps me keep fine-tuned in on a target. I'll show you that here in just a little bit. Yeah. Got our controller, our go-to controller. I really don't use this except to help get it set up, because after that I use my computer to do all the guiding. So we'll put it in its carrying case right there. What else? It's down. Missing some. The autofocus. Rather than have to get out here and twiddle the knobs a little bit, this connects to my computer so I can fine tune the focusing, because each filter has a different focus point. So if I went and just set the focus and started doing a bunch of different filters, some would be clear, some would be a little fuzzy, and it wouldn't look good. So plug that in as well. Okay. Now some power. Power to the mount. Stir that in. All right. Dew heater. This is just an extra way to ensure if the fog or whatever comes in, it'll keep the primary lens dry. It's like an electric blanket. It's just not very powerful, but it's enough to do the job. And that just velcros on there. Okay. All the cabling is complete except connecting it to my computer. We'll do that here in a bit. On to the balancing. So let's see how we look right off the bat. I'll release the clutch on the right ascension. Tilt it over, and it swings back. It's not supposed to swing back. So that means I've got the counterweight too low. There's too much weight down here. So we'll just slide it up, tie it down. Still a little bit too much. It's good on that side. A little bit there, so maybe just a smidge up. Oh, by the way, you guys like my shirt? I got this for Christmas from my daughter, Jennifer. It's a squirrel photobombing an alien landing. Talk about a rare incident there. Okay, we're good there on the right ascensions. So I'll bring it down here. Now let's work on declination. Release the clutch. And I gotta clean up the cabling a little bit. It's over here, and it's heavy in the rear. Both ways. So, turn it up. It's forward. Go. Test it again. Clutch. Again with the cables. Look at there. Balanced. Okay, so we're balanced on the mount. Clutches. So this is a ground up setup. I still have a little bit of power to connect, and then we're going to get into the fine tuning of polar alignment and then star adjustment. After that, a little focusing, get the camera cooled down, and go for a target. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.